Am I live? Am I live? Yes. Good evening. Good evening. If you are joining me tonight, I'm starting with some music. I don't know if you all can hear it or not, but music really settles my body. Yeah, it does. And so I'm excited again to be in this space with you this week. And so I'm just getting settled in. Again, thank you for joining me. I am just putting in the chat if you want your name to appear in the comments. I'm just adding a link. Need your love. Where you can put your name in the chat. And so we're going to start just a couple of minutes. I'm just giving people an opportunity to join. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Created an echo. So I wanted to mute that. Welcome. If you are joining, welcome to this sacred space. I am happy to be here with you. Let me get back to my restream. Thank you for sharing. Someone shared already. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining me tonight for another. Let's see if I can say this right, because it is such a tongue twister to me. And like my family, if any of my family watches this broadcast or joins, you already know that some words I cannot pronounce, that I am very much so tongue-tied. And so I have a difficulty with wellness and wisdom Wednesdays, all of those W's. But anyway, welcome to Wellness and Wisdom Wednesdays with Kimberly J. That's me. And so I'm just giving people time to just come on in and get situated. I know you all are probably just settling in from work, probably have already eaten dinner or are trying to eat dinner. And so I welcome you to this sacred space, and I thank you for joining me. If you are joining me live, if you are going to watch the rebroadcast, I welcome you and thank you for joining as well. And so I'm just checking YouTube to see if it is in fact broadcasting on YouTube. And I'm not seeing it. Yeah, but I am using some old technology, a really old iPad to check it out. So if you are on YouTube, thank you. Thank you for joining. I am just trying to see if it is streaming there. I am hoping that it is streaming there. Yep, I believe it is. I believe it is. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. That was last week. So, anyway, welcome. I see people are finally joining. Welcome. Welcome. We're going to get started. It's 7 o'clock. I like to start on time. And so I am still checking. And yes, I am in YouTube land. And so, welcome, YouTube viewers. Welcome, my Facebook group viewers, to Wellness and Wisdom Wednesdays live with Kimberly J. I'm going to turn the music off. Not sure if you all could hear it anyway, but I am going to turn it off and so we can get started. So welcome to this sacred space. I thank you for joining me this evening. The topic that we're going to build upon today, it really came or it was inspired by Tana. So Tana, if you are joining me tonight, you said that you had wanted to talk about where dis-ease shows up in the body. And so tonight's topic is going to be listening to the wisdom of your body, listening, 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 and then sitting with where it hurts. Where does it hurt? And so every week, I jump on this platform every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I jump on this platform to share with you wisdom, tools, techniques, things that you can use to help you on your journey. And so let me start off by asking you all a question. How many of you are out there currently suffering from some sort of chronic pain or ailment in your bodies? Perhaps you're experiencing back issues, anxiety, sleep deprivation, bad nerves, people getting on your nerves, and you feel it in your body, right? Anxiety, disconnection, boredom. Yeah, boredom is a thing. And a lot of people experience boredom, and boredom causes us to go and do things that we wouldn't normally do only because we are not actively bringing energy into our mental space. And so then we're bored, we're tired of doing the same things over and over again. And so that's an ailment, that is chronic pain. And we just kind of keep it hidden or keep it suppressed, or just find random ass things to do with our time, drink and smoke and drink and smoke some more, and veg out on YouTube, or veg out on Netflix and TikTok and all that stuff because we don't have nothing to do. And so we're not being challenged. And so that is a form of chronic pain or an ailment that can begin to manifest in our body. Arthritis, headaches, migraines, weight problems, poor eating habits. And so, all of these issues, no matter how minor we think they are, all of these issues, if left unacknowledged and unresolved, can and will lead to greater health crises like cancers, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, and dementia, a slew of other chronic health conditions. And so let me pause for a second and just share with you some really powerful statistics. Some of you all may be familiar with these statistics. Some of you may not be. I research and I try to keep track of these statistics, but every time I read them, it kind of blows me away. And so for Black women in particular, as of 2017, the leading cause of death for us was heart disease. Yes, heart disease. 23% of Black women die from heart disease. The second is cancer, and then stroke, and then diabetes. The leading cause of death for Black men in the United States, very, very similar. Their number one is heart disease. The second is cancer. The third is homicide, unfortunately, which isn't even in the top tier of Black women, and stroke. So stroke is showing up, for Black men and Black women. And so for both Black men and women, again, heart disease is at the top. And so some of you may be wondering, wow, like what leads to heart disease? Everything, a lot of things. And primarily energetically, what leads to heart disease is grief, loss, and trauma. And so we're going to talk about that. And when I say energetically, that means a thing. And we're going to build upon that shortly. And so now get this, in the United States, 49% of African American women over the age of 20 have some type of heart disease, like clogged arteries in the heart, the arms, and the legs, stroke, high blood pressure, and angina, which is chest pain. And so those are things that are also related to heart disease that we suffer from. And so again, that percentage is staggering, 49%. So what that means is that nearly 1 in every 2 Black women in the United States is suffering from heart disease. And again, interestingly, and we're going to talk about energy, but interestingly, it is directly linked to the heart chakra. Grief, loss, lungs, not being able to breathe because of grief and loss and stress. And so Western medicine teaches us that to treat chronic illness, pain, ailments, etc., dis-ease, and I keep, separating the two words because really it is dis and then ease. We're not at ease. But the things that Western medicine, it teaches us to treat these things with prescription medications. And so many of us are taking so much prescription drugs for health ailments like this and other health ailments because that's all we know to do. We go to the doctor, we tell them what's going on. We tell them that, yeah, we're stressed, we got this going on, that's going on. And what do? They prescribe you a drug. However, these medications, they do very, very little to address the root cause of our physical pain, of our discomfort, of the dis-ease that is in our body. So it just kind of treats the symptoms so you don't feel it, or so it doesn't cause any other side effects or any other problems in the body. But very rarely does it address or get to the root cause of why we're having these imbalances in our bodies to begin with. So indigenous knowledge systems, rooted in traditional healing methods, they all contend that health ailments in the body are rooted and linked to energetic imbalances. So tonight, I want to build upon the concept of energetic imbalances, what they are and how they show up in our physical bodies, and offer tools for how we can begin to create more harmony, more balance, a more harmonious and a more balanced lifestyle that addresses the root cause of our health ailments. And that's these energetic imbalances. Greetings. I am Kimberly J., spiritual teacher, scholar activist, master healing practitioner, and founder of the Journey to Wholeness Center. And I am here tonight to hold a sacred healing space for you, equipped with tools and resources to empower you on your own unique journey to healing and wholeness. I welcome you again to Wellness and Wisdom Wednesdays. Eventually, I will get that right. Ask Kimberly J here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So, in this space every week, and I'm here every Wednesday again at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. In this space, we will begin our time together in a brief grounding, a brief meditation. I know I talked a lot in the beginning, and that's a lot to process and digest. And we're gonna come back to the middle. We're gonna get back in our bodies because I really believe that if we can ground and get back into our bodies, we can be able to hear more with our hearts and less with our head, and so it's very important that we hear with our hearts because that's where we can create the opening to really be able to receive the wisdom and knowledge that's set forth in this space. And so once we do a brief grounding meditation, then I will share some of my wisdom teachings with you. And a lot of the wisdom teachings is rooted in a lot of the spiritual life coaching work that I do, a lot of the intuitive healing work, the energy healing work that I do. And even some of my scholarship, as I have mentioned before in this space, I am currently working on my PhD in my primarily tongue tied again, primarily my studies is rooted in healing intergenerational trauma. So I really study a lot about intergenerational trauma, and more specifically, as it shows up in Black women's bodies, and what are some tools and methods, some embodied healing tools and methods that we can begin to use to really interrupt trauma because we're carrying it from generation to generation, and that's for another whole story, but the only reason another whole day, but the reason that I bring it up is because sometimes there'll be some writings or some teachings or some readings that I do within the scholarship, that within my scholarship, that I would love to just bring to this space. And so lastly, once we ground, once I share, what it is that we want to talk about or that's on my heart and my mind to talk about. And also topics again that you bring to me. Again, this is a topic that Tana brought up last week. Then I'll just open a space for you to ask me anything, whatever is on your heart as it pertains to anything that I've talked about in this space, anything as it pertains to your own personal growth, evolution, partnerships, relationships, career, finances, energy, health, etc. This is a open forum and open space. So I will encourage you to either put your questions in the chat, or you can feel free to email me. And if you are watching this broadcast at a later date, you can still put your questions or comments in the comment box, and I will answer and respond. So let's get started. And so as we come into this sacred space, I'm going to invite you very, very briefly. And again, this is if you are not driving, if you're driving, please keep your eyes open. If you are not driving, I invite you to just take a moment and close your eyes and really soften your gaze, drawing your awareness within your body. And for a brief moment, just sit. Just sit in stillness. Feel deeply into your body. And just notice for a moment where it hurts. Where do you feel constriction or tightness, discomfort, or perhaps anxiousness, or a little unsettled? Or notice if you don't feel anything at all, if you feel numb or disconnected. Don't judge how you feel. Just allow yourself to briefly feel within your body in this moment. And now draw your awareness to your belly and take a deep breath in from the belly, bringing it all the way up to your heart, holding it, and then softly exhaling it out. Take another deep breath in, holding it in your heart, and then softly exhaling it out. And take one more deep breath in, hold it in your heart, and then softly exhaling it out. Take a moment and feel your body settling in, softening. Draw your awareness to the top of your head. Envision being activated, energy coming in through what is called your crown chakra at the top of your head. And now visualize the space in between your eyebrows, your third eye, your inner vision, your inner sight. Allow that space to open, to expand, so that you can see more clearly within. Draw your awareness to your throat. Feel the vibration, the pulsating sensation of your throat, allowing it to open, to be clear, for you to be able to speak your personal truth. Drawing your awareness to your heart, allowing it to open and expand. Again, visualizing energy coming into this incredible space of healing and self-love. Dropping down into your belly, drawing your awareness to this space of personal power, of manifestation. Allowing it to open, expand, and soften. Dropping down into your sacral area, this is your space right below the navel. Your space and place of creativity, of birth, birthing new ideas, new creations. Allow this space to soften, to relax, to be present, to be open. And then dropping down into your hips and your legs, allowing yourself to feel grounded, rooted, firmly planted on Mother Earth. This is your place of connection, of survival, your roots, perhaps even wiggling your toes. Taking time to be able to give yourself the stillness and the space to be able to fully drop down into your body is a precursor for and to all healing. You have to be able to feel your body in order to be able to heal it. And now I invite you to take 3 more deep breaths. And these breaths will allow you to come back into your body. Be gentle, be compassionate, take your time. If you are listening to this live, I thank you for joining again. And you can always get the recording and redo the grounding if you are not able to do it with me in this moment. And if you're listening to the rebroadcast, you can, of course, rewind it and do it as often as you like. That was just a powerful grounding for us to be able to connect with our body. A lot of times we don't even check in. We stay numb, we stay busy, we just keep going from day to day, and we don't even check in with how our body is feeling, what our body is trying to tell us. And so that is today's topic, is listening to the wisdom of your body. And so when your body is in a place of pain and discomfort, or you are dealing with health ailments and issues, that really is an invitation for you to really examine what the heck is going on with you. What are the root causes for your health issues, which tend to always go beyond just the physical ailment itself? So, again, all disease and ailments, health ailments, and discomfort in our bodies are really, really rooted in energetic imbalances that are created both in our internal environments, in our mind, body, emotion, and spirit, and also our external environments, our relationships, our careers, our home, our neighborhood, society at large. Yeah. And so, what are energetic imbalances? So, basically, energetic imbalances are created by blocked, stuck energy that remains in various locations throughout our body. It remains in our subconscious mind as well as the physical body. We are energy. We are energetic beings, and energy enlivens, activates, and holistically sustains us, every aspect of ourselves. We're energy. And so, to really understand how energy blocks are created and to really understand the flow of energy, you have to be familiar with, or you should be, you don't have to do anything. You should be familiar with the chakra, or the energy system of the body. And I think I referenced this a couple of weeks ago. And so our chakras, our energy centers, they work in unison to create and maintain a healthy inner environment. And I still find it so unfortunate that most of us don't even know what the energy centers are, what our energy system is, and how energy directly impacts every aspect of our well being. Again, I was 40 years old before I even heard the word chakra or knew what a chakra was. And so, to really learn about the chakra system, I highly recommend, if you are not familiar with the chakras, the energy centers of the body, I really, really highly recommend that you take this course that I have on demand called Exploring Your Chakras for Healing and Wellness. And so I'll put a link to that course, but it's just a really primary, basic kind of one-on-one course for you to really understand and learn about the energy centers of the body, as the energy centers of the body really dictates all of your health and wellness. And energy is everything. Energy is the food we eat. Energy is the company we keep. Energy is stress. Energy is anxiety. Energy is imbalanced. Energy imbalance, energy causes dis-ease, discomfort, pain, illnesses. And so that's why it's so important to understand energy. So we'll learn how to be a good steward of our energetic bodies. We'll be more mindful of what we let into our space, the denser energies, the denser people, the denser music, the denser television, the denser programming. All of those things affect our energetic bodies. And so, energetic blocks are primarily caused by fear, insecurities, grief, trauma, rooted in abuse, abandonment, the death of a loved one, broken relationships, broken partnerships, divorce, all types of things that happen to us throughout the duration of our lives can create energetic blocks in our bodies. Again, what we tend to do is just bury it. We bury it in our subconscious mind, we bury it in our bodies, we suppress, we deny, we avoid, and we push it down. We push down grief, we push down trauma, we push down pain. I don't have time for that. I got to get back to work. I don't have time to fully grieve. Grieving hurts. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of feeling this way. And so we just push it down and we just keep going on with our day-to-day lives. But that energy remains within our bodies. That energy doesn't go anywhere. In fact, it becomes even more compacted and compounded as we continue to live life, as we continue to push more and more stuff down. And that is what leads to physical ailments and disease in the body. And so I know there's a saying that goes, time heals all wounds. It does not. Time does not. All time does is gives us permission to continue to avoid and suppress. The thing that heals all wounds, the thing that begins to restore our wounded bodies, is conscious and intentional actions to move that dense, blocked, stuck energy. And I'll pause there because I want to share with you. I'm going to put on a chart that really explains it. And I'm going to try to share it in the live. I'm going to share my screen in the live so you can see the chart, see what I'm talking about. Because I want to give you some examples of how energetic blocks are created and where they begin to show up and manifest themselves in our physical bodies as health issues, and what are some of the things that we can do to really begin to draw awareness again in terms of what's going on within our bodies, and then draw awareness for what it is that we need to do consciously and intentionally actively do in order to restore balance, harmony back into our bodies, and to really heal at the root, at the root, without being becoming chemically dependent on pharmaceuticals, being able to heal what's going on with our bodies at the root. And so I'm going to pause here because I want to share my screen. And I also want to check in if you join, for those who have just recently joined, who are watching, greetings and welcome. Let me check on, oops, I'm going to check here on YouTube. Just want to say hello, greetings, greetings, greetings. Thank you for joining me. And so now I'm going to share my screen. So just bear with me a second as I want to share this powerful illustration that I put together a little while ago. And so I also have a live course that I have taught in the past, a live workshop on energy, energy healing, the best kept secret to healing and wellness. And so I want to share, I hope it comes up okay. It looks like it's small. And so we'll see. Hopefully you can see this. If you can't see it and you're interested more in this chart or slide, I can definitely send it to you. But I want to talk about energetic blocks. I want to talk about our seven chakras and how these energetic blocks show up as physical symptoms and what the chakra related to the energetic block is. And of course, sometimes experiences cross they I was going to use the F word. They mess up everything. Some experience are so heavy and so traumatic that it impacts all of our chakras. But I just want to give you some examples of how and when different experiences, life experiences, begin to block our chakras or begin to block our energy centers. And so the first one is, really focusing on the root chakra. So let's say that you are a person who seems to always be struggling financially. You're struggling to pay the bills, and even when you're not struggling money or financially wise, you think you are. So you hoard money, or like you keep money tucked away. Always everything is about money. Everything is about, well, how much does it cost, but do I have enough money? Well, I'm not sure I can do that, and I'm not. And sometimes it becomes overwhelming because it's always either I don't have enough, that energy, I don't have enough, that energy of lack. Or let's say that you're just feeling completely unhappy, ungrounded, unrooted, unhappy with your job, unhappy with relationship, unhappy with your home, not very clear about your place in the world. And you're like in this constant state of fear and grief, which so many people are right now, in this constant state of fear and grief. And so that impacts your first chakra, which is your root chakra. And so what are some of the physical symptoms that those energetic blocks create? Lower back pain, obesity or overeating, eating too much, prostate issues, kidney issues, constipation, stress, arthritis, again, root chakra issues. So what are some of the things that you can do to bring more energy into that, more balance, more flow? Exercise, physical fitness, movement, going into nature. Going into nature helps us ground. The biggest one is reevaluating some of our belief systems. What have we been conditioned to believe about money? What have we been conditioned to believe about survival? We got to make X amount of dollars. We got to have this particular job. We got to have this particular education in order to make it. We got to make it. We got to make it. Survival, survival, survival. So, what are some of those conditioned beliefs that we have that keep us rooted in this fear of lack, this fear of getting sick, this fear of dying, this fear of not being connected, the fear of not finding a partner? All of those things begin to show up in our physical bodies. Forgiveness is a huge way, and it's forgiveness of self to begin to release some of those blocks. Meditation, prayer, going within, sitting in stillness. So those are some of the things that you can do to actively increase the flow of energy in that root chakra. So the second chakra, moving up the body, going into the sacral chakra or the navel area. And that is our space and place of creativity. That's our place of relationships. That's our place of sex and sexuality. So some energy blocking experiences in that area is just fear of sex or fear of intimacy. And not being able to handle the emotions that come along with personal relationships, abandonment issues, fear of losing, of not being able to get close to someone because you might lose them. That abandonment, all of that shows up in that lower chakra. Not feeling validated, or even being over sexualized, looking for connection. You're looking for intimacy, looking for connection. And so where does that show up in the physical body? Bladder problems, impotence, intestinal issues, sexual difficulties, male female issues, jealousy, betrayal. So all of those things reside in that sacral chakra. And so some of the things that we can do, again, evaluating our limited belief systems, releasing fear, forgiveness, creating, getting more energy, being more. So I talked initially when I first jumped on here about this thing with boredom. And so the boredom that shows up in that area too, because now we're just trying to do things to feel connected. And so we're having sex just to feel connected. We're drinking just to feel connected. We're hanging out in the clubs just for connection, just for intimacy, just to feel. We just want to feel. And so being in alignment with your passion and your purpose, being able to create, being able to find what it is that you're passionate about, and giving to the world, creating and doing something for the world, doing things outside of yourself. So that's a way to begin to heal that area, or to heal that block, that dense energy. Releasing judgments. Again, nature, meditation, prayer, being able to go within and really assess why it is that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And again, dealing with the root cause of it. The third one, solar plexus. This is our place of personal power. This is where we feel grounded in our truth. And so, where does that energy become blocked? So, let's say you're an excellent employee, you receive exceptional performance reviews. However, you're constantly, and this is my story, by the way, back in the day when I was working in corporate, starting off in my career, constantly getting passed up for promotion. And instead of moving on, you stay with the company out of loyalty, hoping things will change. I know that is probably so many people's stories, especially those who are starting in their careers. You're putting out, you're producing, you're at the top of your game, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and it's never good enough. It's never good enough. It's never good enough. And so that begins to create blocks in your solar plexus, in your place of personal power. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel validated. And then instead of walking away, because someone who is rooted and grounded in their solar plexus, in their place of personal power, they say, deuces, I'm up out of this bitch. And in fact, I'm going to do a wellness and a wisdom Wednesday about fuck that job. Excuse my French, but not, So you say deuces. I'm worthy of better. I know I'm better. I know I'm rocking this game, and I can go take my talent elsewhere. So that's when you're grounded in your center of personal power, and you're not worried about. And see, this is how all of the energy centers begin to work together, because you're not worried about survival. So your root chakra is not blocked. Your sacral chakra is not blocked. You know that you can create another experience for yourself, so you're going to keep it moving. And then you got all of this personal power. Your solar plexus is saying, no, I'm better than this. I'm moving on, and I'm not going to sit in this. But for people who don't have all of that energy, or have some of their other energy centers blocked, and they are dealing with this particular situation, they'll sit in it. And they'll be on that job 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, dealing with the same stuff. And so, where does that show up in our body? Physical symptoms: diabetes, gallstones, low energy, stomach problems, diabetes, weight problems, muscle cramps, liver issues. So, that's where that begins to manifest itself in the physical body. And so, what can you do? Change jobs, change partners, change relationships, get out of dysfunctional relationships. Don't fear change. Build up your self esteem. Again, meditation, going into nature, doing the work to actively release that block stuck energy, so you can create space to bring in more universal, more life force energy. And so, moving on to the fourth one, your heart chakra. Oh, so many people have blocked heart chakras. But of course, if your first three chakras are blocked, the heart is going to be blocked. But the heart chakra, this is your place of balance, of harmony, of self-love. It's not about loving. The heart chakra is not about loving everybody else. It is really about self-love. And so where what experience, kind of like energetic blocking experience you've experienced, let's say that you've experienced many failed relationships and you've given up on the thought of a healthy love relationship. You're just giving up on love, not understanding that love begins and ends with you. And so how does that begin to show up? It shows up as weight gain, stress, fatigue, blood circulation problems, heart problems. And we talked about that coming into this discussion. Heart problems, because we have not learned how to cultivate a healthy relationship with love, about love, for and with ourselves. Okay. And so we're conditioned to love others and to give unconditional love to others and support others, but we are never really in the space to learn how to do it for ourselves, how to create boundaries. What does self love really look like? It's not just pampering ourselves, going to the spa, going to the gym. It really is about being a steward of your energy, of your energetic system. It is about paying attention to what's going on with your body, checking in with your body, giving your body what it needs. Your body said, hey, I need some more sleep. Giving your body some more sleep. Hey, this job is not serving me. Hey, this relationship is not serving me. Being courageous enough to walk away from things that are not serving you. That's what self-love. Self-love is hard because, again, we're not taught it. We're taught to give it all away. And then when we begin to cultivate a strong, healthy relationship with ourselves, there's fear and judgment that surrounds it. And so self-love, opening that heart chakra. And again, the way that it shows up primarily is we shut down, weight gain, stress, anxiety, all of those things, grief, lung issues, respiratory issues show up because our heart chakras are blocked. And so, what do we need to do? Open up to inner love, really do the inner work to release these blocks so we can feel connected, so we can feel validated and get the validation from ourselves and not constantly look for it outside of ourselves. Forgiveness, meditation, prayer, nature, green, the color green. And so there's this whole, you all got to take my course on chakras, because the chakras also are rooted in energy of the chakras are also based on colors. Those colors mean a thing and they provide energy, life force energy. And so, yeah, you all should get that course if you are unfamiliar with chakras. Okay, so the fifth chakra, throat chakra, that's all about personal truth. Being rooted and grounded in what is true for you, what is in alignment for you, not following the crowd, not doing everything because everybody wants you to do it, but what is true for you. And being able to speak that truth. Feel it, speak it, acknowledge it. And so, what are some experiences that tend to shut down that throat chakra? Very good. Again, I give you an example of what I went through as a child. So, as a child, you grow up, and my environment wasn't strict, but it was abusive. You grow up in an abusive household where you got two parents who are constantly arguing, constantly fighting. And as a child, you can't process that energy, nor can you really speak about it. You don't even have the words. And then you're trying to lay low. You don't want to make waves. You don't want to say anything that's going to piss either one of your parents off when they're already pissed off at each other. And other children grow up in really strict environments where they are not given the permission to speak their truth. Speaking was not allowed. You did what you told, and you never being able to express your own opinion, never being able to speak what was true for you. Yeah, and having adults always tell you to be quiet and sit over there and be quiet and be quiet and be quiet and be quiet. And so the throat chakra begins to shut down when we are not able to speak our personal truth, even as in adulthood. You're on your job or in your marriage, in your partnership, your relationship, you're not able to say how you really feel without fear, without judgment, without, I'm not even gonna say. How many times do we be like, I'm not even gonna say nothing? And so all of that energy becomes suppressed, suppressed, suppressed. And so what are some of the physical symptoms that it shows up? Chronic sore throats, tonsillitis, respiratory issues, breathing issues, throat infections, you know, um, um, asthma. Asthma is the biggest. Asthma. All of those things begin to show up. And so, how can we bring more energy into that space? Is give ourselves permission to speak our truth. Even if we can't speak it out loud, start writing it, journaling, writing, prayer, consciously, actively removing those blocks, saying, you know what, it's safe for me to speak my truth. Whatever I experienced as a child, I can begin to let some of that go, let some of that energy go, forgiveness, work through forgiveness, let some of that energy go so I can create the space to be able to speak my truth. And then you'll get like me and you'll never shut up. I'm always speaking my truth. So the sixth chakra is the third eye, and when that's blocked, when we're dealing with energetic blockages there, where does that show up, or how does that manifest itself in our body? And so another energy blocking experience that may block this area. So let's say you are aware and you're very connected spiritual, or you feel like you're very spiritually connected, you're aware, but you're not really listening. You're not listening to your higher self. You're not following your intuition. And so you're making these poor choices. You're not using your gifts of discernment. You're not taking some time to steal your mind and be able to go within to discern what is in alignment for you. So where does that show up? Headaches, 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 migraines, poor concentration, worry, 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 eye problems, neurological problems. And so what can we do in these instances? Start releasing those fears, trusting our inner guidance, building up our inner sight, our inner vision, going in stillness, going to meditation, praying, sitting with ourselves, not busying ourselves, but really sitting with what's going on so we can cultivate a deeper inner sight, inner vision. And that is what the third eye is all about. But that also, when we shut that down, when we don't want to see within, we don't want to heal, we don't want to experience what's in alignment for us, that space becomes blocked. Lastly, the crown chakra, and this is where a lot of our life force energy flows in through the top of our head, through our crown chakra. And so an example of how that energy becomes blocked, let's say you're actively living your life, you feel connected, you feel like you have a higher calling, a higher purpose, but you can't get to it. You're a dreamer. So how many of us know like these people who have like all of these dreams? Oh, so you got all of this energy coming into your crown. You got all of these dreams, all of these big ideas, all of these things you want to do, but you can't manifest it. You can't manifest it because it's blocked. So you can't see it clearly enough to be able to speak it as your truth, to be able to infuse it with love from your heart, to be able to infuse it with your personal power, be able to birth that idea, that creation, that, all of that is work, and to be able to ground and root into it. And so all that energy remains stuck. It just remains stuck, and you can't manifest, you can't create. Again, migraines, mental issues, depression, nervous system, muscular system, when people just stay so much in their head space that they completely disregard the rest of their body. And so that is energetic, that is energetic blocks in your crown chakra. Again, meditation, prayer, releasing those fears, paying attention to your body, trying to understand why this energy is remaining stuck. What fears do you have? And being able to be in alignment and be all that you were created to be. And so that's how it shows up there. And so I know I'm talking about a minute, but I just had a lot to cover in such a short time because I don't want to be on this thing all night. I want to go and eat. I'm hungry. And so let me get back to the broadcast. And I'll pause here just to see if I have any questions. I'm probably talking my talking my butt off here. And I've been on almost an hour. And so this live stream is like turning into a course, right? I didn't think I would have that much to talk about in this space. But yeah. So hopefully, if you are watching this live or if you are watching the rebroadcast, you can just go ahead and put any questions that you have in the comments. Zoom in at the bottom right side. I didn't see that. You all probably weren't able to see the screen. But again, I can put those slides, send you those slides later. So just send me a comment. Let me see who that was. Oh, that was Crystal. Welcome, Crystal. You said zoom in at the bottom right side. I will actually send you those slides because it may have been difficult to see in this live broadcast, but they were really important. It's a really important guide for you all to have going forward. And so, welcome, Jania. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy that you have joined me. Welcome. And so, again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. If not, as you are watching the rebroadcast, you can go ahead and add your questions and I will address them later after the broadcast. And I apologize if you weren't able to see the slides. I can always send you a link to the slides later. I'm just checking to see. Let me do a quick check on YouTube to see if I have any questions there. Okay, great, 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 great. And so, with that said, as we close, I invite you again to really actively dig deeper into the wisdom of your body. Really understand what it's offering you in terms of ultimately your own healing and wellness. Being able to go to another level and layer of understanding where you're having or experiencing energetic blocks that are leading or causing the root of your physical ailments. Because when we can move in that direction, it really does help us be able to heal and restore our bodies without becoming dependent on pharmaceutical drugs to do that work, to do the work that it's not going to do. It doesn't heal. It's not going to heal the root cause of what goes on in our bodies. And oftentimes all it does is continue to suppress, because now we're not in pain anymore. Now, we can continue to function. We can continue to go to work with this ailment, this health ailment. We can still function. We can go to work. And so we don't even deal with that. And so pain is something that causes us to pause. Health ailments should cause us to pause and say, where am I not in balance? And deal with the root cause and not just put a band-aid on it. Really get to the root to be able to release that energy. So if you want to continue this discussion, or something has been triggered in you and you want to perhaps have a one-on-one session to really explore and expand on what is going on with you specifically, I do offer intuitive healing session and spiritual life coaching sessions where we can talk more personally about your situation. As I mentioned before, earlier, I do have an on-demand class. If you are interested in learning more about the chakras on your own, you can take that course so you can find out more about our energetic bodies and what energetic blocks in our bodies do, and how we can begin to restore and balance. It's very, very important that we understand the energy centers and system of the body. And so I will put a link to that course in the description, in the video description. And I also want to remind you that if you are interested in taking the Reiki Level 1 class, that tomorrow is the last day to register. We only have 2 more spots left. So if this is a class that you wanted to take, again, we talk a lot about energy, but we talk more specifically about energy healing. And so this is an amazing class for you to take to become certified to work with energy healing tools and techniques. But tomorrow is the last day to register, only 2 spots left. I only do Reiki Level 1 every quarter, every 3 or 4 months. So I won't be offering it again until probably beginning of the summer. So I thank you for sharing this space with me. I'm sending you so much love and many blessings. And I see you next week. Again, put your comments, like, share this broadcast. I'm always looking for new topics, so you can put that in the comments as well. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Sending you so much love and many blessings. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I will not be on next week because I will be in Costa Rica next week doing some self-love, self-care, rest, relaxation. So I will not be on here next Wednesday. And so I look forward to connecting with you all, whatever the Wednesday is after that, sometime in March. I look forward to connecting with you then. Sending love and blessings. Bye.